Some fragrances beg to be noticed. Some get shouted about until the words lose meaning. And then there's the ones people keep quiet about. Protected, whispered. Not because they're expensive, but because the people found them first don't want the world catching up. That's the world Prada L'Homme Intense lives in. There's one thing it does on skin that most reviewers miss. It pulls inward instead of pushing out. We'll measure that inside the Rated Report. Let's break it down. Hey Raiders, I'm Turk. Prada doesn't design fragrances for reaction. They design them for reflection. The culture rewards loud bottles, big projection, instant compliments. But quiet power? The algorithm doesn't know what to do with that. And neither does a room full of people waiting for you to perform. Let's get into the scent. The iris comes in first. Dense, powdery. Not cosmetic, something more personal than that. The moment the performance stops and something true settles in its place. But here's what I noticed, and I almost missed it on the first wear. The amber doesn't behave the way amber usually does. It doesn't open outward. It doesn't bloom for the room. It contracts, pulls inward, and anchors itself there. The amber here isn't sweet. It's dry. And that single choice separates this bottle from every other warm fragrance in its lane. Then the leather moves in. Soft, structured, refined. Tonka beneath it, warm and human. Iris to amber to leather. Clarity to decision to groundedness. That's the architecture. And we're about to find out if that holds. This is the Rated Report for Prada L'Homme Intense. It doesn't hold all day, and it doesn't pretend to. 4 to 6 hours, then it pulls back. Closer to the skin, closer to you. On fabric, it lingers longer. Off skin, it becomes something only you can find. First 90 minutes, arm length. Present without pushing. After that, it contracts. Someone asked what it was on the way out, not when I walked in. That's not projection, that's pull. Every note, it knows exactly where it's going. Cold air brings the iris forward. Warm air softens it. This is a fragrance for quiet nights, layered fits, and dim rooms. It doesn't need every occasion. It owns the one it chooses. At $90 to $120, you're not paying for hype. Everything in this bottle earns its place. Nothing is accidental. This is architecture at a price that respects the person buying it. A fragrance that pulls inward doesn't ask the room for anything, and neither does the person wearing it. Now you know what the bottle does, but the bottle's just a tool. Now we need to talk about the person holding it. I planned carefully. What I didn't plan for was the ending. There's a truth most people meet late. You can plan all the way to the middle, account for every visible risk, and still arrive at an ending that doesn't feel like yours. The safe room was always going to close. And when it does, it asks one question. Whose story were you inside when it did? You can fail at what you don't want. Most people do. They spend years building a life that fits someone else's idea of safe, and they lose it anyway. The risk was never whether you'd fall. The risk was whether you'd fall for something that was actually yours. When I launched this channel, I had no audience, no algorithm, and no guarantees. I made a different kind of decision. I chose myself. Not the optimized version, the full one. And here's what nobody tells you about that moment. It comes with a freedom you weren't expecting, and an accountability you can't escape. You can't blame the circumstances anymore. You can't blame the timing, the people, or the situation. You made the choice. You own everything that follows. And that's not a burden. That's the whole point. The ones that choose themselves don't wait for permission. They don't wait for validation. They plan all the way to the final word, and then they follow it there. This isn't the scent of becoming. It's a scent of already knowing. The loudest entrance rarely is the one remembered. The ones who last. The ones who matter. Didn't chase the room. They built something worth staying in. That's what this channel is. That's what this bottle is. If you chose yourself today, you already know where to find us. Remember, raid smart, smell better.